Major General Babatunde Ibrahim Alaya joins us this morning. He's the Director General, Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria. He joins us virtually. Good morning Good morning, General.
Good morning, Ayo, and good morning, Kayla. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, it's good to have you, General. Maybe a good way to start would be, how does it feel? I mean, you've been in the industry for long enough to know, in your profession for long enough to know that for a very long time, Nigeria was not self-dependent or self-sufficient in the area of providing itself its own defense mechanisms. How does it feel? How long did it take us to get here? And what, in your opinion, has changed?
Okay, thank you very much.
No, that's why they say after 15 minutes.
Please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead, we can hear you.
The Director General, Defense Industry Corporation of Nigeria. As we all know, Defense Industry Corporation of Nigeria, DACOM for short, was established by an act of parliament in 1964. And it was established to form the cornerstone of the defense production and to support the armed forces and security agencies in their security and defense requirements. DACOM was able to support the Nigerian armed forces effectively during the Nigerian Civil War. However, after the Civil War, everything went down the drain. And there are some major factors that are responsible for that. The first, the Nigerian armed forces were using a rifle called Francis National La. And that one, up to now, has a massive machinery equipment for the production of that particular weapon. And this was the weapon that the armed forces of Nigeria was using before, throughout the Civil War and immediately after. However, due to strategic decision, the Nigerian armed forces switched from the FN La rifle to AK-47. And there was no deliberate attempt to set and establish the production line for AK-47 in Nigeria. So from the moment we switched to the use of AK-47, DACOM was incapable of producing the rifle because the strategic leader did not make deliberate attempt to establish the production line, unlike when we were using the FN La. So that's how the production of rifles in Nigeria was killed. And then also we are producing a number of other items such as grenade, ammunition, and so on. However, due to low patronage, maybe as a result of long years of peace and so on, and they were not producing. Then when the security challenges of terrorists, bandits, and others came, Nigeria was confronted with these challenges. All the production lines were not producing. So the armed forces and the security agencies had to resort to importation. However, we want to appreciate the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for signing the DACOM Act 2023. The DACOM Act has changed the dynamics of defense production. The DACOM Act has empowered DACOM to go into partnership with local and international players, stakeholders in the defense and security industry. Now, what we are doing, we are not waiting for government money to set up production line. We are not waiting for government money to procure equipment. What we are doing, we are going to partnership with industry, with industry players that have money, with contractors that have made money supplying the armed forces and the security agencies. We are encouraging them, we are inviting them to form joint venture companies with us. They bring their money, and then we go into specific field, and then we start joint production. So if the government brings in money, it's just in addition. We have a number of companies that have a partner with us. We have companies like D7G. We have a joint venture company that will be producing ammunition, weapons, and other categories of defense and security equipment. We have other companies like Imperium that are producing personal protective equipment. We have other companies like Proforce, we have CSI, we have Roving Guard that currently they have paid for the ammunition production line, automated ammunition production line, which is better than the current one we have in DACOM. And in 1 year, the production machines will be installed and will be producing. Like for example, for D7G, by December, we're expecting part of their automated ammunition production line to come in. And we are hoping that by second quarter of next year, we should be able to satisfy at least a minimum 80% of ammunition requirements of the armed forces of Nigeria and other security agencies. At least 90% we should be able to cater for. I even have excess capacity to export outside Nigeria. So these are the steps we are taking. There are other stakeholders that we have partnered with. We have partnered with about 32 defense companies and contractors who are bringing their money to establish production line in Nigeria. We have SP Offshore, we have Vinicius, we have Gray Insignia, we have Buckler, and so on, so many. So we are not waiting for government money. We are partnering and we are moving forward. Thank you.
Good thing that to hear these, not just the things that you're saying, but the passion with which you're saying it, you know, it's communicable, if I can use the term. But let me cite the example of just one of these partnerships that you've talked about. You talked about this joint venture with SP Offshore. So we understand it's something in the region of $2 billion, and I think you mentioned that earlier. Now, this venture is being described as transformative, you know, towards a military-industrial complex. So the question then is, how do you manage technology transfer, General? How do you ensure sustainable operational capacity and a cultivated pipeline of local investors beyond just infrastructure investment?
Okay. So what we are doing, we are establishing systems, not based on individuals. We are laying out systems with our partners. You have mentioned the SP Offshores. So the way joint venture works, they bring in their money. We go into specific field. For example, we are going to be producing ammunition with SP Offshore. We are going to be producing ammunition with D7G. We are going to be producing ammunition with Roving Guard. We are going to be producing ammunition with CSI. We are going to be producing AK-103 with D7G in the next 2 months. We're expecting, we have completely knocked down parts from different countries, about 10,000. So we bring them to Nigeria, to DACOM, and we assemble them as our own DG-103. And we market within Nigeria and export excess capacity outside. So it's not just the infrastructure. We are training human capital development. We are sending some of our personnel to different countries, China, Turkey, to go and learn the technology. So we are not inviting just the original equipment manufacturer to bring the machine and just to come and install. We are training technical hand, we are building human capital resource, and we are leveraging on the technology that is already available outside there. We are not reinventing the wheel because it will be difficult to reinvent the wheel. So we are bringing the technology and we are domesticating their use and production. And in all this partnership, DACOM will be fully in charge, either it's ammunition production, weapon production, or equipment production. DACOM will be fully in charge. DACOM will control, will be responsible for security of the premises, will be part of the production, will be responsible for the production, will be the only one to market and sell under the guidance and directive of the Honorable Minister of Defense and Honorable Minister of Defense, State for Defense. So we will be in full control of whatever we are doing with our partners.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, General, these are ambitious timelines. I mean, you would agree with me. And but so when you talk about self-sufficiency by 2027, you've been quoted as saying that mass production in 4 months, advanced technology within a year. What happens to public trust, General, if 2 years from now, these timelines slip? And because there's always this issue that could happen that you probably didn't foresee. What happens? What's your own personal accountability plan in that regard?
Okay, see, we are not playing around. You must understand we are not waiting for government money. We have investors who have money. In fact, 3 days ago, an investor called me that he had 50 billion naira to invest in drone technology. These are business people who are bringing their money. And if they bring their money, we are not playing around. For example, I said in 4 months, we're expecting some automated ammunition production line. It's coming. I said we are expecting 10,000 completely knocked down parts of weapons that we're going to start producing weapons. Already we have gotten the end user certificate for these items. They are coming. So we are not playing around. We are very serious. In fact, we should have started this 5 years ago. In fact, we are moving very late. So for me, I'm fast and quick, and my partners know this, and we are moving around the world to make sure we get the best for Nigeria so that in 1 year time, for ammunition, we should be self-sustaining. Especially for some caliber of ammunition, at least 80% we should be self-sustaining. In weapons, we have about 4 companies that we are going to be producing weapons with. We have D7G, we have the Nigerian machine tool Oshogbo that will be producing NSV anti-aircraft gun. We have gone far with their partners from other countries. We are just waiting for some of the parts and equipment to start arriving. So we are moving very fast and we are very confident. Thank you.
I mean, I'm taking a look at some of the things that have been happening. General, you've been very busy. You've been very busy for the past few weeks and months, and commendable in many ways. I'm seeing Vinicius is even helping you, partnering with you to do security hardware. And of course, we've been talking about the deal with SP Offshore. You also have a $2 billion local weapons production deal. So that sufficiency when it comes to weapons in our country, it's something that you're really passionate about. But I want to be able to take you up on security. And the reason why I brought it up was because of this deal with Vinicius. Many people have been talking about our borders and the technology that is necessary for our borders so that we don't have a situation where terrorists are moving willy-nilly and doing whatever they want to do, moving from one state to the other, or even from outside of the country into our country. And the question about the security of our borders and what kind of technology is being employed in those places has been coming up. And I want you to speak to that. Is that some of what these deals are going to cover, security at our borders, whether internal borders or the borders we have with other countries?
Yeah, thank you very much, Kayla. Vinicius is one of our strong partners. In fact, I have a meeting with them tomorrow so that we can sit down and actually strategize on how we move forward on the border security and others. We also have other joint venture partners that we are already talking about border security. In fact, as we are talking, we are expecting some equipment from outside, from 2 different countries for border security from the 2 of our partners. So we are working on that. This is work in progress, and we'll see how far we can take it. We are talking about using a mesh system for border security. We are talking about using laser and different systems. So these are discussions that are already going on, and we are assuring Nigeria that in the nearest future time that we will make progress on how to secure, monitor, and our border areas, especially considering the vast expanse of land that constitute our border. So we are doing something about that too.
I mean, I wish you gave me a particular timeline because we've been hearing it before. Oh, in the nearest future, soon, in time, But we want to be able to see that something is being done, especially about our borders, immediately. Is that something is that something you can assure us of?
It will be difficult to give you a timeline.
A year, 2 years.
Look, it depends on what technology we are bringing on board. It depends on what kind of patronage we get from government and security agencies. But we are bringing, the equipment are coming, different equipment. Some are like drone technology, some are laser technology, some are mesh technology. Different equipment are coming. We are going to unveil this equipment. I do not be led to the strategic leaders to decide what to do with this equipment. But we are bringing the equipment. We are not playing around. And very soon, just like you are hearing the story of different achievements so far, when we do that, we assure you.
And finally, before I toss you back to Ayo, I see that you've relaunched DACOM Salt. You talk to us a bit about that.
Thank you very much. DACOM Union Salt was one of the biggest investments for DACOM in the past. In fact, DACOM Union Salt was the biggest and the largest distributor and supplier of of salt in Nigeria, even to other African countries. DACOM Union Salt introduced the first iodized salt in Nigeria. Unfortunately, about 21 years ago, we went out of production. When I took over, General T.Y. Danjuma interacted with me and he mandated us to restart and commence production of the DACOM salt. Together with the directors and board management and the very active Mrs. Florence, the acting general manager of DACOM salt. And we worked very hard, and today we are very proud to say DACOM Union Salt is back in the market, and we will only go bigger. We are making arrangements to even expand production. So we are very happy that after 21 years, we're able to bring DACOM Union Salt back to the market, and we are moving forward. Thank you.
Well, General, I have to agree with Kayla that, you've been busy. And again, your passion is communicable. But what we would like to see is sustainability. You also talked about the fact that for many years we were down there and you were very, very disappointed. And everyone was. The fact that we have to depend on other parts of the world who could decide not to sell to us. We saw that experience in time past. Now, General, Israel turned its own defense innovation into a global tech export business. South Africa's Denel thrived, then along the line collapsed due to corruption and mismanagement. Now, which trajectory, in your opinion, is DACOM more likely to follow? You have talked about the building systems and all of those things. So what direction are we to look forward to, and why should Nigerians believe you, General?
Like I said, we are building system. We are following our own trajectory. We are not following anybody, but we want to ensure that the armed forces of Nigeria and security forces, that we could cater for their defense and security equipment need. Now, how do we go about that? What I call the working principle that we are adopting. And we are encouraging the strategic leaders to work with us and encourage us. The working principle one is that if there's any equipment, weapons, ammunition that could be produced locally, that the DACOM and its partner should have the first right of patronage. If we are producing ammunition, there's no reason why anybody should import ammunition, anybody should give contract out to import ammunition again. We will produce and market at cheaper rates at faster period than anybody can bring from outside Nigeria. Then second working principle is any equipment that could not be produced by us and our joint venture partners, we can bring in at a completely knockdown or semi-knockdown. The meaning is that we don't need to bring finished products into Nigeria. We buy parts and bring to Nigeria, and then we provide employment for our people by employing them to build the system, the parts and components that we have bought from outside, they build them. Where the expertise and the technology and the machinery are not available for us to produce completely, then we can bring from outside. However, we are hoping that by 2040, we should be producing everything, because we want to domesticate everything we are buying, everything we are using. We want to domesticate the production. We are tired of importation. We are tired of procurement from outside. We want to do this locally. So and the system we are placing...
Yes. My apologies, General.
Yes.
And that is the reason that one of the things that I think can also help that is the question I asked earlier about technology transfer. I mean, you've spoken about the fact that, okay, you are bringing in world-class this, world-class that. amazing partnerships that you're having. So, and the question, one of the challenges Nigerians have had in time past is that we have these amazing ideas. We have these wonderful technologies and all, but we don't have the world-class personnel. In some cases, we have world-class personnel, we don't have world-class equipment. Now, you are bringing in world-class equipment, world-class factories, but what's the plan for capacity development? Because it will be foolhardy of us, I'm sure you would agree, if we don't have world-class Nigerian engineers to run them. So what is the actual headcount that you are targeting before 2027?
Okay, yeah, the plan we have now for every equipment we are bringing, we are sending our people for training. For example, for the automated ammunition production, and I said it will be coming in December, we are sending 10 people to Turkey to learn on the job. They will be part of the production. They will be part of the processes. So when they are coming back to Nigeria, they have the experience. So we are not just bringing the machines. And then the original equipment manufacturer is going to attach some of their technical experts to us for a period before, once we are very conversant and comfortable with the production, then they can go. However, you know, there is what I call the umbilical cord. The umbilical cord to every original equipment manufacturer will be maintained because there is need for sustainability. It's not just to bring in, install, and then you are not talking with the original equipment manufacturer again. We will maintain the umbilical cord for every equipment, every machinery we are bringing with the original equipment manufacturer in terms of technical support, in addition to the people we have trained, and then in terms of even raw material sourcing. Because from experience, we have realized that it's not every raw material we can domesticate the sourcing. So there are some that we still have to get from the original equipment manufacturer. So we maintain this line, and with the plan we are very confident that is what the systems we are building, the system we are establishing will be sustainable systems, even if we are not on board again. Thank you.
General, there are so many other issues to raise with you, but let me get your promise or your commitment. No, I don't know if I should use the military language to you that you are mandated to join us again in another 2 weeks. I don't know if I have that authority. Thank you so much, General, for your time this morning. Major General Babatunde Ibrahim Alaya, Director General, Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria. We appreciate your time this morning with us.
Thank you. My last word, the President and Commander-in-Chief has signed the presidential executive order on Nigeria first. So we encourage everybody, please patronize our products, patronize our joint venture partners so that we can make progress. Thank you very much.
I will also be expecting you to place commercials on Channels Television to foster that. Thank you so much for your time.